Joining us now is Jaslyn.
Jaslyn.
I knew I'd do it. Jaslyn Ferguson with Atento Capital, and it's good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the company.
Yeah, so Atento Capital is a Tulsa-based venture capital firm. So venture capital firms, for anyone who doesn't know, that just means that we invest in startup companies. So we really focus on those early stage founders, and we're looking for that unsung potential in the Tulsa area.
Are you finding much of it?
Oh, I think we are. We have a lot of companies that we have invested in, dozens of companies, and a lot of them are very, very exciting, all spanning different industries.
I'd be interested to know how many inventors come knocking on your door saying, I've got the best mousetrap you've ever seen.
I mean, you know, you'd probably have to ask our investment team, but they're always out sourcing and trying to find all of the new talent, not just in Tulsa, but nationwide. But we really do try to focus on finding talent that's in Tulsa or folks that are ready to bring their big ideas to Tulsa because we have such a good startup ecosystem here.
Let me ask you a question, because in observance of Black History Month, we are finding in our discussions with folk that they encounter people all the time that don't have a working knowledge of what happened here. Do you see much of that?
We do see some of it, right? And so I moved to Tulsa actually 3 years ago through the Tulsa Remote Program. I was very excited to move here because personally I had heard about the Tulsa race riots and the massacre that happened.
Where'd you come from?
Orlando, Florida.
I won't hold that against you, but go ahead.
Please don't. But when I first came here, I had heard about it, and part of my excitement in moving here was knowing the history that happened here and knowing that Black Wall Street once was thriving and seeing all of the efforts that are now being in place to kind of revitalize that area, get businesses back on those storefronts, and really transform the Greenwood Avenue area. I
got to tell you, let me give you a little piece of knowledge that you may not have. There was a time in the Tulsa region when the race issue was so strong. It was defined by a set of railroad tracks. So if somebody like Cab Calloway or Duke Ellington or any of the big entertainers at the time who toured quite a bit came to town, they do a show in South Tulsa first, spend the night, and then do a show in North Tulsa the next night. So in your readings, you probably haven't encountered that, though, because there wasn't much of that in the Green Book.
Well, you know, the old expression of across the railroad tracks exists, and it exists for a reason. We see that not only in Tulsa, but in other historic towns. And so what I'm really excited about is the fact that with my company, Atento Capital, we are bringing forth an event called Beyond. And really the focus of that is we're trying to create opportunities for folks, you know, no matter where your family is from, on one side of the railroad tracks or the other, to be able to be a part of the growth that's happening in Tulsa. Because we know that that was the past, right? We know that that is the history that's happened, and we know that in many ways, you know, Tulsa has been very segregated in that way. And so how we move forward is creating opportunities for everyone. So we're super excited to have this event called Beyond to open up. There are doors at the event to everyone, specifically folks in the North Tulsa area, to come out and to learn about all the opportunities that exist to get their business ideas funded. When we talk about history, right, when we talk about, you know, this nation's past, whether it's Tulsa or any state really, you know, one of the things that always comes up is, you know, how do we build generational wealth for communities that haven't had those opportunities? And one of the really great things about what we're doing at Atento Capital and with this event is that we're trying to shine a light on this very specific path, which is if you're a startup founder, if you have a business idea, you can get that funded through venture capital. That is a means to get funding outside of just self-funding or, you know, bootstrapping with friends and family, which has its limitations. And when you have an idea and you're able to understand how to navigate that venture capital space, you know, you could be the next Uber or
When is the event?
The event's on February 15th, so right in the middle of Black History Month, and it's going to take place at Fulton Street Books and Coffee. We're super excited to host it there because that is a Black-owned business as well, and it's right there on Greenwood Avenue. They just opened up their brand new location there.
Plenty of parking.
Yep, tons of parking. Come out, have a good time. It's going to be an event unlike anything that we've really done in the past. It's really geared towards, again, opening the doors and really letting people to understand how they can be a part of venture capital, whether they're an entrepreneur, maybe they're a potential angel investor, right? Getting an idea of if you are somebody who maybe has the means to be able to invest in a company, how can you do that as an individual? And also just an overall knowledge of what's happening within that ecosystem and how to get a part of it.
Should they bring drawings and pictures of things that they've created if they have them?
They could. It is a great networking opportunity. So by all means, anyone who has ideas, they're welcome to bring different materials if they want to show them off in conversation. But really what's going to be great about this event is walking away from it. They'll have the resources, the tools, the links to find out more not only about Atento Capital, but also some of the organizations in the area that we partner with. And at the end of the day, they can always go to our website, www.atentocapital.com, and subscribe to our newsletter to stay up to date and connect with us and find out how they can pitch their ideas to our investors.
Sounds good to me. Hey, thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And good luck on all of this. I'm anxious to see how it turns out. Is this the first one?
So it is. It's the first Beyond that we have, is what we're calling the event Beyond, a celebration of Black History Month. But stay tuned because throughout the year we're going to be doing events with this exact same format, really opening our doors to the community and letting people know about venture capital for Women's History Month, for Pride Month, and even for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you for coming by.
Stay tuned.
We're all out of time.
Thank you so much.
And like the lady said, stay tuned. We'll be back with more right after this.